what a weekend box office. This weekend was really interesting. Two big movies came out this weekend. One is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the Little Mermaid. Also, there was the First Access. So First Access not doing that good domestic wise at all. However, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is a brand new movie, just entered into the box office, and this movie opened to huge number worldwide box office. When you look at this number, I was really surprised when I saw the preview number for this movie on Friday. I think Friday alone this movie made $50 million, which is a lot for animated movie. So Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse only cost to make only $100 million, and it is a Sony picture. Oh man, this morning probably Sony is laughing at Disney. No way Disney is happy with the Little Mermaid box office, because end of the day, Little Mermaid box office, the reason for them to get mad at, because end of the day the Little Mermaid like the worldwide number is really low. Although it didn't drop huge number, let's be honest here, didn't drop that much. Then again, it didn't make that much in the first week either, so it only dropped like 30 something in the international market. And I think the Little Mermaid did quite well at some of this European market, better than I thought. And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I think it did quite well at the domestic wise, because it did, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse did open to $120 million at the domestic, and the international this movie managed to make, well, not bad at all. It is looks like it's sitting on $88 million from the international, and the worldwide is $208 million. Yeah, it is quite impressive number, especially for Sony Studio. I think they also had a couple of flop this year. Like, they are not making hit after hit either. So, Sony Studio did had some flop, but looks like this is definitely huge hit for them, because Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, end of the day, it cost only $100 million to make. It is an animated movie. I think this opening number is more than amazing for them. I think they gotta be happy with it. Of course, the part 2 is coming, I think, next year. Super excited for this. Of course, now we'll be looking into the Little Mermaid. So Little Mermaid, I guess it dropped 54% on its domestic box office, and the international it dropped around 34% or so. So it's not bad, I guess. But again, this movie didn't open to huge number either. So this movie, which is cost to make $250 million, like this movie's only budget is to make that. But there is the advertising cost for this movie is like $140 million according to Deadline. But I think personally it's probably more, because I did see a lot of advertising for this movie. Really, Disney tried to advertise, because I got so many emails from them, because I am their Disney Plus subscriber. So if you are subscribed to them, they send you a lot of email, and it was sending me 1,000 emails that see this movie. So that's why I know they did do a lot of advertising for this movie. But the way they advertised this movie, of course, it was wrong. Of course, now you see the result. Unfortunately, this movie, it looks like it will flop, but not a huge number, I will say. I think it'll be losing like 50 to, like, according to Deadline, 20 million. I think it could be there. Do I think it will lose 100 million at this point? I don't think so, because this movie is doing, I think, is doing a good business at the domestic, because this weekend though it also grabbed like 40 something at the domestic market, and international it also did okay. I will say the international number is so low, because international, you don't have a lot of time, like you have to get most of your money in the first 2 to 3 weeks. After that, I think most studio, like the most theater outside of domestic market, they don't show movie for a long time. So that is why. Also, there is another movie. Oh man, this month is packed. It is so packed. Of course, there is another big movie coming out, Transformer: The Rise of Beast, and also Flash coming out. So much competition. So I do think at this point, maybe it will go around 600 there. But for this movie, I think it's a disappointment for Disney, I think. Then again, they took huge risk with this movie, and sometimes when you take this big risk, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. End of the day, I think what Probably the executive at Disney, they're gonna be mad at this. When you look at this number, it's not about losing money, it's about losing your brand value overall, because all the other Disney movie, they make more than $1 billion, and most of their money came from the international market. And the international market, they rejected that this movie like this, it's gonna be hurting their brand, overall brand value gone down. That is what I think personally, because it's not about one movie losing money, it's about next movies coming out after this, which is, I think, Snow White is coming out. Then again, Snow White is not as big name as the Little Mermaid. I think the Little Mermaid was really beloved. Snow White is like, I don't think it's people's favorite character, let's be honest here. But I think Snow White could do good. Do you know why? Because Snow White has Gal Gadot, and worldwide audience, they do like her, because end of the day, she's coming from DC, and DC movies are they do good at the international market. That is why I do think this movie has a better chance, Snow White, than this one. But end of the day, Disney probably gonna look at this number and they're gonna be like, whoa, what happened here? Of course, when you take a big risk like this, now you have to pay. And overall, I feel like people are really mad at them at this point. Let's be honest. There are other movies coming out. Like, I think people are projecting Indiana Jones to be failing also, but I think Indiana Jones will be okay, because I do see some people are really excited to see this, but I don't think it will be hit either. Like when beginning of the summer year, I'm thinking like the Little Mermaid will do billion, Indiana Jones will not billion, I guess it will do good. Now I'm like, I have to rethink it. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this movie going like head to head with each other? One is failing at the box office, one is really winning, and one is Sony and one is Disney. And that was my thought on this. Let me know in the comment. If you enjoyed this video, don't share other videos on other topics. Enjoy this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.